Oh my God, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate streaming. I hate socialism.
Please
Go
back over there.
Go to
England.
Trump over the course of the past.
Well, I don't like what's happening. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Just a quick reminder, once again, my little chickadees, that on my tea website, the winter flavors are back in stock: bourbon barrel chai, peppermint white chocolate, and apple cider. I'm also still running the 50% off sale on the expiring tea, although as you guys know, tea doesn't really expire. That being New York Breakfast, Earl Grey, and Emerald Green. I should also note that I don't plan on reordering Emerald Green for a little bit, so if you like that flavor and want it, now is the time to get it. And as far as the Earl Grey goes, I was having a look last night and I realized that is the one that expires in mid-November. So if you want that, once again, now would be the time to get it using the code WeDon'tWaste. And yeah, let's do the video. I also just want to say as well that for some reason this video was really hard to make and I don't feel particularly funny at the moment, so there's probably going to be fewer jokes and goofiness in this, and I think it's because whenever I cover stories around kids or now apparently animals, I don't know, it like takes the wind out of my sails a little bit. So there is that. Please forgive me. So I am quite sure by now that probably the majority of you have seen all of this drama surrounding leftist streamer Hasan Piker. And if you haven't, I am glad for you because it's been weird. And for those of you who don't know Hasan somehow, he is one of the largest streamers on Twitch, known for venerating terrorist groups.
Here, let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my favorite flag? Yeah. Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually a dope flag.
Encouraging people to be violent.
Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods, dude.
And once calling your girl over here an effing crybaby because I said that I don't like having men in female spaces. I hope I can find the clip of that because...
space where we're told that our opinions don't count because they're not the right kind of opinions, and we're constantly shouted over.
Yeah, look. Now she's the victim. Shut the fuck up, you fucking baby. You bitch ass baby. You fucking crybaby.
What a pleasant guy, really. No, I am shocked. Truly, I am shocked that the internet would gang up on him at any point, given what a lovely little creature he is. Anyway, over the years, Hasan has come under fire for all sorts of things, like being a champagne socialist, living in a, I think, $3 million house while telling everybody how we need communism or something, venerating terrorist groups like I mentioned, calling for political violence, and just being a general extremist. But lately, our friend Hasan has been in the news for another reason, something that is being dubbed Collargate, a thing that went so viral even my non-political friends heard about this. They even covered it on Fox News, of all places. I guess now a bunch of boomers know about it too. Don't yell at me in the comments, that's who watches Fox, okay? It's the boomies. I'm pretty sure that Fox is on cable, and I'm not even sure who still has cable. What even is cable? For context, in sort of mid-October, Hasan, while ranting about his hatred for America live on stream, seemed to shock his dog Kaya using a shock collar when she tried to move off her bed. In the video, Kaya cries because being electrocuted hurts, as it turns out. I'm also not going to show you the full video on its own because I'm actually not sure that this would pass the vibe test as far as YouTube goes. It's got really random rules around all sorts of things. I don't want to test it, but more importantly, I also think that if you're like me and you like little animals, watching this will probably bother you a lot. So if you want to watch the clip, go and find it on the internet. It is everywhere. Just warning you ahead of time. People immediately concluded that Hasan has been using the collar to force his dog to stay in place and in shot while he live streams, and soon this situation blew up. Streamers like XQC and Tectone were calling Hasan out. PETA issued a statement slamming shock collars as tools that cause burn wounds, displaced aggression, and chronic anxiety. Ethan Klein from H3H3 jumped in saying Hasan was clearly mistreating his dog. And every normal post Hasan made online was flooded with people calling him out, saying that he clearly knew what he was doing to his dog because for the rest of us normal people, when our pets cry, we immediately want want to comfort them because we think they've been hurt. This sort of reminds me of that Netflix documentary, Don't F With Cats. Don't F With Dogs, Hasan. Although I know that's quite common in your culture. Hello kids, Editing Sydney here from the future. I just wanted to make note of the fact, and we're going to talk about this other dog that Hasan owned called Fish in a little bit. We're going to come back to him. But as of today, and I didn't know where to slot this in admittedly, as of today, people are posting a new video and picture where Fish, Hasan's previous dog, had a cut on its neck, which they believe was the result of wearing a pronged collar. I will show you the video here. I just wanted to make note of it because this is cropped up, and like we're going to talk about in the rest of this video, this is a pattern of behavior. What this guy does to dogs is a pattern of behavior. In an effort to appear normal, I guess, Hasan even took his dog to the recent No Kings protest because, I don't know, that's a very normal place to take a dog. A protest? Such good work, Hasan. I also love in these clips in this video that he has given himself one of those like press badge thingies. I don't know what they're called, like a Velcro, I don't know what the name of that is, but he's put on what looks like one of those Kevlar vests with a press thing. You're not a journalist, bro. No one with a fully functioning frontal lobe thinks this guy's a reporter. No one. And I would know. I have a master's degree in journalism that I sometimes cry over.
Cry, baby. Me, 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 me.
Sometimes I feel like Melbourne University just gave me a really expensive receipt. Actually, speaking of things that are expensive, you want to know what's really expensive to maintain? Your bad habit, which is why today's video is sponsored by Fume. Why, hello there. I am your lung. You know, the thing that helps you breathe? Yeah, that's me. But as a lung, I gotta tell ya, there are a bunch of things that I don't like, such as vaping and smoke. Why would you do this to me? So because I hate chemicals and toxins, and if you want to be a good friend to me, your lung, then I suggest you check out Fume. Because rather than beating me up with toxins, Fume instead uses these delicious flavored cores that come in all sorts of flavors. And boy, I like them all. All you have to do is put in your preferred core and go. So simple. But more importantly, Fume is not a vape, so it doesn't have any heating components, no batteries, no vapor, which keeps me happy. And trust me, you want to keep me happy. Fume is also built with fidgeting in mind, which is why it has movable parts and magnets, as well as being built to last, which is why it's made from quality materials and is nice and weighty and nice to hold. So if you too want to protect and love your lungs, then click the link in the description, scan the QR code on screen, or go to tryfume.com/Sydney. And importantly, use code Sydney to get your free Fume topper when you order a journey pack. Go support Fume, they have been a great friend of this channel. Anyway, Hasan's response to Collargate has been largely to change his story 900 times, but also continually call his dog spoiled and a baby because she reacts poorly to being injured. First, he said that the collar in question only vibrates and that Kaya got her little claw caught on the bed and that's why she cried.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy?
Then he said that this was a far-right Israeli, like, psyop or something. I don't know. This one doesn't make a lot of sense. Then he said that the people pushing this conspiracy were mentally ill.
I know. Can we just move on, please? Because the memes were funny in the first couple of days, but now the only people that still are like actively pushing it are people who are genuinely mentally ill in the way that like anytime my arm moves around or like I unlock the gate or some like I do have a button on my desk for the gate, right? And I unlock the gate, and obviously if you have a dog, you know this already, when they hear that the gate is unlocked, they perk up. They're like, oh my God, he shocked her again.
Then he said that he didn't even have a shock collar to begin with, and people were clipping things out of context.
And they've moved away from the initial conversation, which was that like, she didn't even have that collar on to begin with. Kaya, please. And the only reason why I show the collar was because people were clipping other instances.
And finally, he settled on getting mad, telling everyone that he hates liberals and the left and everyone and everything. Because, I don't know, I guess this is the final stage of getting called out on the internet. Who is to say?
God, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate streaming. I hate socialism. I hate every single person who thinks that the peak of activism is just being the most annoying, holier than thou, the most ultimately woke leftist. You did it. You have unlocked the nihilism within me, okay?
I mean, I, for one, think that this is a very measured and normal response. It is not symptomatic or emblematic of this man probably being mentally ill. Now look, he is right from the perspective that this has absolutely sent a lot of people into a tailspin of sorts, but I think he's missing the fact that this is because your average, normal, nice person does not like or condone animal abuse. Every time I see a story about this type of thing on Twitter, without fail, if I retweet it, and I usually retweet it, I will write something about capital punishment for these people because that is a position that I do hold. I have big problems with hurting little creatures. This might be some sort of extremist and or frowned upon position that I have taken here, but I don't think that doing horrible things to the most innocent on our planet and in our society is very evolved behavior. And I think that people who act like this are usually harboring other awful behavior. Not just serial killers, but there's other things to this. Like if you can really harm something that is totally innocent, like an animal, especially little baby animals, it's like there's something seriously wrong with you. But as far as Hasan goes, this whole situation has opened the floodgates to people realizing that this is a pattern of behavior, and he's been doing this for a really long time, not only with his current dog Kaya, but with other dogs he's had as well. Shocking. I know, water is wet. I fully believe that the first clip that set all of this off does show Hasan shocking his dog, and people have gone to great lengths to prove that. Some reached out to the alleged manufacturer of the shock collar, who identified that Hasan's collar is the shocking variant. Others bought it themselves, yada yada yada. But because it's the internet, and the internet is full of internet autists, a bunch of these people seemingly went and watched a ton of Hasan content to find more examples of the animal mistreatment, and it does really build quite a grim picture. And this is really why a ton of people now are suggesting that Hasan uses his pets basically as props during his live streams, forcing them to stay in place for hours at a time. Within about a day of his initial denial, several videos surfaced either from past streams or from the stream in question, showing the same sequence of events. Kaya shifts position, Hasan reaches off scream, then a yelp or alarm, and then compliance. In another resurfaced clip from months earlier, Hasan jokes about how he's teaching her to sit in place for hours and hours and hours on end.
We're using the elevated bed, as you guys can see. And one of the things with the elevated bed is that she has a leash on right now on the elevated bed, so she can't like really get off of it. So she now knows to sit in place for hours and hours on end.
People then dug up another clip where a woman called Jennifer Welch, I think that's who this is, I'm pretty sure, notes that Kaya's collar is too tight and it's choking her. Hasan's very unconcerned response was that Kaya has a lot of neck meat, as if that changes the fact that her collar was literally choking her slowly.
I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we get.
You have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get 1. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's she has a lot of neck meat.
There are clips where Kaya so clearly wants to get off the bed and Hasan won't let her, and this is, dude, I don't know, like, I have dogs, I have 2 big dogs. This stuff is just so bizarre to me. This is not training, Hasan. This borders into bizarre, weird power dynamic with your dog. I don't know, man. These videos are bizarre. I really don't like watching these. I don't know why, but these ones I think make me more upset than some of the other things that have been floating around. In yet another video, Hasan calls Kaya a well-trained bear and once again forces her to get back onto her bed.
This is a very well-trained bear. Also, look, what do you think this is? What do you think that is? That is a well-trained bear. Okay. You're really like, don't do it! Don't say it! That's where we're at. What is this? Quiet as a mouse. What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
And if you're like, oh no, Sydney, this is just a guy who wants his dog to stay put, I think you're wrong, actually, and I don't think that's what this is. Someone did a time lapse that showed Kaya sitting in the same spot for hours on end and basically being instructed to get back in her bed whenever she got out of it. So I have seen the argument being made that dogs do in fact stay in the same spot for hours at a time, and I will agree with that to the extent that usually that's when they're sleeping. You know, like when they're asleep, when they're not switched on. And I can say this from my own experience. My dogs will often come in and lay on the floor at my feet or off to the side of me when I'm editing or filming or doing whatever. And actually a lot of my clips, I have to edit out the little pitter patter as they come and go in and out of my office. And it's like, them staying next to me, yeah, they'll do that for a little while, maybe, and then they go outside and they go chase a squirrel, or, you know, they want me to give them a cuddle and then they go away, or they want to go and have a drink of water or something. A dog staying in the same spot awake for hours at a time, I don't think is terribly normal. Dude, you are so stinking cute. I just want to squeeze you till you pop, but I won't do that because we're talking about animal abuse, and I don't want to be mean to you by popping you, okay? Okay, bye. Yeah. Okay, have a nice day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You can go. Bye. And the thing that's so clearly messed up about this is that Hasan thinks that being nice to his dog is spoiling her, and he's repeatedly said this. In one video, he mentions how it's some sort of special event that Kaya was allowed to free roam around his house, I guess.
Because a lot of people are saying, someone's been a bad girl in my absence, by the way, and you can tell because she's like literally crying. She's not used to place because while I was gone, she got the free roam like a cow the entire day. I don't know if she actually got a decent amount of workout this morning or not, but oh, okay, she did go to the park apparently, and she's still being a baby. My haters are causing me to be more reactive to my dog when she's being spoiled, and then train her in the opposite direction, train her into thinking that she can just like get my attention by crying in the background.
I don't like you. And the worst part is, this mistreatment of Kaya actually started when she was just a puppy. In one incident, Hasan puts puppy Kaya in a small enclosure with his bigger dog Fiona, encouraging Fiona to bite Kaya and basically teach her a lesson while he laughs maniacally about how funny it is to watch his little baby dog be scared.
I've seen her. Kaya is really funny when she's scared. Being scared, but it gives me anxiety. Maybe it's me. No, I want her to bite her. What do you mean? That they had to chop it? Fiona snaps at her. She'll just go, ah, 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 and like run away. Run away like a goofball crying. It's the funniest thing on the planet. She needs to learn. See? See?
The wind, children.
Did you see that? I want you guys to see what happens when she actually gets scared. It's so funny.
I'm not sure what Hasan's dogs are supposed to be learning from this little gladiator session right here. Aside from the fact that he will just go ahead and endanger them himself. This will probably shock none of you given my position on, you know, most issues, but I am a big believer that dogs will just figure it out, and that they have their own dynamics and their own ways of communicating that obviously humans don't really fully super understand, even if we think we do. And I've been like that basically forever. Like, obviously, if dogs are attacking each other and being violent and biting and all that type of thing, yes, for real, get involved and protect your pet. But if they're just kind of working out how to play with each other or whatever, or setting boundaries, I think that's perfectly fine. But with that said, I just couldn't ever see myself laughing or finding it funny that one of my dogs was going after one of my other dogs. This is psychotic. But this does seem to kind of explain why Kaya has apparently attacked other dogs in the past. Dogs are not companions to Hasan. They are props for his content, slaves even. And Hasan thinks that owning a pet is akin to owning a slave for personal consumption. He said so once in a rant where he was seemingly trying to make a point about the overall immorality of pet ownership. Ah yes, pet ownership is very, very immoral, says the guy who shocks his dog to keep her compliant. Okay. Hasan has also more or less made it clear that he prioritizes the aesthetics of his dogs over their ability to breathe or like the functionality of the breed. When he was dog shopping in 2023, someone told him to avoid French bulldogs because of their breathing problems, but Hasan disagreed with that advice, saying that he didn't care and that it's just a dog.
It's just such a lib ass, like, oh dude, please don't get a Frenchie. I just wrote a Vox article talking about how problematic they are. Like, I don't give a I know they have breathing problems. I know they're incredibly inbred. I don't give a shit. I know. I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. This is a dog.
Which doesn't really make any sense, because if your dog has breathing problems, you will pay for those breathing problems in vet bills over time. Unless your plan is to let your dog slowly suffocate, which might be a possibility, considering he's tried to suffocate his current dog.
I think you're choking her.
So yeah, checks out. Depressingly, this type of behavior hasn't only been reserved for Kaya either. Hasan has acted this way towards his other dog, Fish. Why would you call a dog Fish? Clips have circulated showing Hasan pulling Fish by his tail, and really, we probably should have expected all of this from a man who openly advocates for political violence at every turn. As much as I don't like Hasan, I am trying to be fair in the criticism here, and as far as tail pulling goes, I have two big dogs with big long tails, and I know that if I pulled it, it would hurt them. I know that, but I'm also like, okay, well, if there was a context where something, you know, serious was happening and I needed to get them immediately, and say they were, I don't know, trying to fight with a snake or something, and I needed to get them away from the snake really quickly, but I couldn't get to their neck or, you know, to their collar or whatever, would I pull their tail? And I still don't think I would. I'd probably grab their hindquarters and pull them back, just because that's meatier. I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of this. I don't know. Maybe I'm the weirdo. I just cannot see a context where I'd be pulling on my dog's tail. Even if I needed to get them for some emergency reason. I wasn't sure where else this fit, but I do want to add it into this video, and I want to come back to these damn shock collars, okay? Because I think that there is established evidence that Hasan uses them. He has shown this and admitted to it over the years. For example, during a conversation at what looks like a house party, he, along with someone else who I'm sure matters on some niche corner of the internet, discuss how a dog trainer that they know/use, I suppose, uses shock collars. Hasan indicates that it's how you can have your dog off leash.
He'll get a shock collar.
He'll get training to like basically be off collar. Like you don't need to ever have a leash on him.
Also, in all of this, because people on the internet are incredibly observant, to put it mildly, people went to the effort of finding specific clips that showed the shock collar's remote on Hasan's desk while he is streaming when there's different angles. There's also another clip that people found where Hasan tries to subtly take a shock collar remote out of his bag, in addition to hiding it from those filming, because I guess these people film themselves everywhere, I don't know, while out in public with the dogs. And this makes sense given that Hasan has seemingly used these devices for years. Alright, so where does this leave all of this? And like I said, I do try to be charitable to people even when I don't think they deserve it. Let's pretend for a moment that we are in civil court and this whole situation is a balance of probabilities. Is it more probable that Hasan isn't very nice to his dogs? I think the answer to that is yes. Is it also probable that using shock in training collars on some dogs is kind of cruel and awful? I think that the answer is also yes. This I can also attest to because we actually bought one from my little girl dog because she screams at everything and we were at our wits' end trying everything to get her to stop. And I hate to admit this, it's embarrassing, but we used it once and I hated the sound that she made and we haven't ever done it again. So look, I understand that when you want your dog to just act right, sometimes it's, you know, people are inclined to do this type of thing to them. But, you know, for me personally, and I'm trying not to pass judgment on other people. I'm passing judgment on Hasan, but I'm not trying to pass judgment on everybody. This would not be for me. This is not something that I would want to do to my dog. It feels quite wrong. That said, there is a ton of support for shock collars, particularly among dog trainers and lots of other kinds of people. I can't unilaterally say in one direction or another if it's right or wrong, but it's wrong for me. That hill I will die on. But when we are talking about Hasan and not applying this to any and all other situations, I think it's mental to shock your dog for trying to move off of its bed. I think it is insane to reportedly force your dog to stay in the same spot for hours and hours and hours on end. I think it's unhinged to act like your dog is spoiled because it's hurt and or wants attention. And I also think it's mad to use your dog as some sort of prop in the background of your live streams. And after seeing all of this, I have to come to the conclusion that Hasan probably shouldn't be allowed to have dogs. I'm sorry, he's not very nice to them. And the thing, guys, that I want you to remember is that these clips are what he's allowing you to see. How does this person act behind the scenes? It is possible in some universe that everybody has misunderstood what has gone on here and this dog isn't being mistreated in any way, but I personally don't think that's the case. And the people defending him, despite the growing evidence, and I'm sure that there's so much more out there, what I've included in this video is just what people have been able to find, because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm really not gonna go and watch hours and hours and hours of Hasan content. I'm not gonna do that to myself. Anyway, the people defending him and downplaying the behavior and denying what is right in front of their very eyes, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about these people because I don't know, I think excusing this type of thing because you, ideologically agree with somebody is kind of asinine. This isn't a political issue, but I do feel like Hasan's defenders and followers are making it one, making it seem like he's being attacked because he's a massive leftist, when in reality, I think it's because your average person watches an animal being mistreated and feels some type of way about it. I get the impression that Hasan is one of those people who views dogs as a thing that should do something for him rather than a member of the family. And I actually think that that is an attitude that was really pervasive even in Western countries, with dads especially, up until quite recently. You know, that was an attitude that my dad had before we got our family dog. He was like, dogs are working dogs. They live outside and they live in the shed and that's what they do. They don't come in the house. And I kind of feel like that's what we are seeing and observing in Hasan, is this attitude that the dog is there for you. And he's more or less said this himself. You know, this is not something that he views as an autonomous little creature. He views it as a slave that he's using for his own consumption. So with this in mind, it's not surprising that he has done this to not only Kaya, but to other dogs that he's had in the past. And it's not surprising that he's expressed a lot of opinions that are not very animal friendly over the years. And look, guys, at the end of the day, this topic may have been blown out of proportion. I don't think it has been. I think that people are just finding more and more evidence to back up the original claim of abuse and mistreatment. But, you know, if it has been blown out of proportion, I still think it's worth having conversations around this, particularly when people are making their dogs front and center in the things that they're doing. I don't ever think it's a bad thing to advocate for treating animals with decency and with kindness and with love, especially the animals that you choose to bring into your home. Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out Fume using the link in the description. As you guys guys know, they've been a massive supporter of this channel, and I recently actually bullied a friend of mine into giving them a try because this friend of mine is a vapey person and likes to inhale things that that are not so great. So if you are like my friend, definitely check Fume out, give them a go, see if they might be able to help you. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Has this topic been blown out of proportion? Are you on that side of this where you're like, hey, this is not so bad, you guys are just Looney Tunes who are picking on this guy because he so happens to have terrible leftist opinions? Are you on my side of this issue where you're like, yeah, you know, there's no aggressive smoking gun here where we go, look, you know, here's this guy like cutting the dog's toes off, but it's pretty clear that this is a person who doesn't respect his animal and absolutely mistreats her. What do you think of the original video? Do you think that he was shocking her and was using a shock collar? Or are you on the other side of this where you think, no, I think her little foot got caught and that's what made her cry? Do you think that he's been hiding the shock collar thing for a long time? And if so, why? Why is he hiding this? Why is he pretending this isn't happening? Are you somebody who uses these kind of collars on your dog? And maybe you think they're a good thing? And what you generally make of this issue overall. As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. Not sure what my hands are doing here. If you are not subscribed to the channel already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Of course, my little noodle people, I hope you stay safe and well and make good choices, and importantly, go and give your doggies or your kitties or your turtles a cuddle, okay? They all deserve it. And I will see your wonderful little faces in the next video.